Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about Dataset Editor, our new feature in EasyMorph. The Dataset Editor allows editing dset files, which we call datasets, and these dset files can be stored either on your computer or on EasyMorph Server. And with the Dataset Editor, you can edit these dset files no matter where they're located. So let's start with creating and publishing a dset file, a dataset. So for that, I'm going to open one of the examples that come pre-installed with EasyMorph. It's just a project that generates some data. So in that project, we'll select one action and then we right-click it and choose Publish Output to Server. This fashion, we publish the content, the output of this action. We publish it to EasyMorph Server. Okay, let's publish it there. Publishing complete. Now I'm going to create new project and pull this dataset from EasyMorph Server. I choose Add Data, Open Dataset from Server, and I select this dataset. Here we go. Now we have it. The dataset editor can be found in the import dataset action. So whenever you import data from EasyMorph Server or from a local folder and you use this action, you will see this new button. It's called Edit Dataset. Let's press it. Okay, we see a new dialog window, and this is our new dataset editor. In the dataset editor, you can see the dataset, and the editor can handle pretty large files, so you can comfortably work with files as big as 1 million rows and tens of columns. Of course, you will need to have a computer with sufficient RAM for that, but still, you can work with the big files in Dataset Editor. Here, when I select a cell, I can see the cell value right here in the bar, and I can see the cell data type in this field here. I can do this, of course, in the workflow editor, but here I can also edit values. For instance, I want to change this company name. Now let's make it uppercase. Here we go. We can rename columns here. Let's say we want to rename this column and make the first letter capital, like that, city. We can insert columns. If you right click and say insert column, here we go. We have a new column. We can also insert column by pressing these buttons, insert column, like that. And we can insert rows. We can select rows and we can insert rows like that. To insert multiple rows, or multiple columns, use this button, insert many. We can insert 3, 5 rows above. Sounds good. Here we go. To delete a column, select it and press delete column. You can replace columns, move them left and right like that. And the same with rows. So you can drag and drop rows like that. You can, to enter values, you can enter it like in Excel. You can just type numbers, press enter, type numbers or values, enter. So it works similarly. You cannot stretch selections in Dataset Editor like in Excel. So you can only select either one cell or one column or one row or multiple rows with the click shift or multiple columns with click shift. But you cannot stretch a region. Not yet. Maybe in future versions. Also, when you edit values, you can change the data type of a value. So for that, you can pick it from this combo box here. For instance, this is a number, and I can change it to text like that. Here we go. Now it's text. You see, now it's aligned left. You can spot that this is a text value. I can make it empty like that. Select it, make empty. Here we go. Now it's empty. You can change column width like that, and you can undo and redo your operations. So we can keep pressing undo just to undo all our edits and return the data set to the initial form. Let's say, okay, let's just for the fun of it, we'll keep one column added. We'll call it random numbers. And here we go. So we have this column, have random numbers. Now, when editing is finished, I can publish this dataset back to EasyMorph Server. Publish, and it's updated on EasyMorph Server. And also notice that the output of my action here, it's already updated with the new dataset. In a similar fashion, I could edit a dataset from a local folder again. So let's save this dataset as a local dset file. Again, I'm going to open edit dataset again. This time I will use this button, save, and choose save as a file. No matter from where you open a dataset, you can always save it as a file or publish it to server. So in this case, let's publish it as file and let's place it here. Okay. Now if we change our file location here and we open local file like that, well, it's the same data set. So you see, we can open it from a local file also, and the edit dataset button is still available. You can also use the Dataset Editor in sandboxes. For that, I'm going to again right-click this action and send the output into a sandbox like that. So here we have sandbox. I can do something. Let's say I want to change this data a bit using actions first. So for instance, I'm going to cut off all the rows below this row like that. I'm going to keep only this and up to this column. Okay, up to this one. Right click and say select 6 columns like that. Okay, so now I have this data set and I want to edit it as a sandbox. I can use the sandbox feature, which is called re-sandboxing. So basically, it's repopulating the sandbox with this output. And now in the sandbox section, when I click it, there is a new button, Edit Dataset, the same button as you can see here in the Import Dataset action. And when I press it, and here we go. Now I have my sandbox data right here in Dataset Editor. So again, I can insert some row and I can enter something. Company X, XY, XYZ like that, random number like this, revenue, some crazy revenue, city, let's make it New York, and so on. So when I apply and close, I see that data in my sandbox has been updated. There are 2 more ways how you can open Dataset Editor. You can use, for instance, the file manager. In the file manager, you can browse local folders, also server folders, and you can open locations from on different remote services like Dropbox or Google Drive or SharePoint or Azure or SFTP and so on. So let's open a server location, server space. And this is the data set we updated a few minutes earlier. So let's right click it, and now we have this new command, edit dataset. So we can open the Dataset Editor right here. We can edit the dataset. Let's delete this column and publish it back. Okay, this dataset has been updated. In a similar fashion, you can open some local folder and edit a dataset in a local folder right from here. Finally, you can edit datasets in the data catalog. So if you created a catalog item which is just a dataset and it points to a dset file on EasyMorph Server, you can edit it right here. So you can press Edit Dataset again, and you can open the Dataset Editor and change data right here. After finished, again press Publish and Close, and here we go. That's it. Thank you.